How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've really posted a video here. I want to give a quick update on that $600 stimulus check that was proposed by Republican Senator Josh Hawley. Let's talk about how that's going, how it ties into the tariffs, which is where that money's supposed to come from. Are the tariffs generating a lot of revenue? What's the latest on tariff updates and different deals being made with countries? How this ties in with inflation. Again, one of the biggest arguments against that stimulus check is that it could cause more inflation, and how it just ties in with the general economy. Is unemployment going up? Are we expecting a recession? Obviously, all of those things would increase the chances of a stimulus check as well. And Senator Josh Hawley, he was really one of the proponents of the original stimulus checks during the COVID era with Senator Bernie Sanders. So let's talk about all of this, guys. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Sorry for the bad audio here. I'm just using my headphones. It's a busy day, but I want to pop in here and make a quick video. So again, this is supposed to be funded by the tariffs. Now, the latest tariff news is that India, starting this Wednesday, tomorrow, I believe actually tonight at midnight as of making this video, is going to face a 50% tariff. And you've probably heard this is because President Trump and the government is essentially accusing India of funding Russia in the Ukraine war by buying a ton of oil. Now, apparently, before the war, India only accounted for about 1% of total oil purchases from Russia. Now they're accounting for a massive number, much higher. I believe it was around 40%, but don't quote me on that. But essentially, India, I guess, is getting a really good deal on oil because other countries are buying less oil from Russia. So they're making a ton of money in India by saving that money and buying the oil from Russia. And they're basically funding Russia for this war in a sense, right? Trump wants to put tariffs on them unless they dramatically decrease their oil purchases from Russia. They haven't come to a deal on this, so essentially these massive tariffs are going to hit. Now, that would create a ton of revenue for these stimulus checks. And so far, we do have a lot of revenue. They're expecting 2 to 4 times the amount of tariff revenue this year as opposed to last year. And we've covered in previous videos, this could easily do the $600 stimulus check. It could cover that based off of the amount of people that qualified for the last stimulus checks. And for kids, it would be $600 for each kid. The way tariffs are going, it would easily cover that, right? Even if you only used the additional money. Now, when you have these massive tariffs being kicked in for India, that could create even more revenue. And the way the bill is written, it's for at least $600. And the bill specifically states that if the tariffs generate even more revenue than currently expected, they could increase the amount of each stimulus check as well. So it leaves the door open for a larger check if more tariffs are brought in. And when you see these massive 50% tariffs being dropped, that makes you think that could potentially happen. Now, there is the argument to be made is, if these tariffs kick in, are the companies going to eat that cost? Are the customers going to end up paying for most of the increase? No one fully knows, and it depends on the product, right? Some products are more elastic than others, meaning some products people are going to buy no matter what, right? The prices go up, people are going to buy them either because they need them, or they're addicted to them, or they think they need them, right? Other products, companies going to have to drop prices, companies going to eat the cost. It really just depends on the product, if that makes sense. Now, as far as this 50% tariff, it's supposed to kick in, in about 12 hours. Are they going to make a deal? We'll have to wait and see. Typically, what we've seen is they end up kicking the can down the road, and then they make kind of like a deal in the middle eventually. But Trump basically came out and said that, no, these tariffs are going to kick in about 12 hours. So it's going to be interesting to see if they come to a deal. India doesn't seem to be backing down when it comes to buying oil from Russia. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But in any case, there is a lot of tariff revenue coming in, and it looks like there's going to continue to be a lot of tariff revenue coming in, which is good for those stimulus checks. Now, unemployment did tick up. It's been higher than expected. And not only is the recent data higher than expected when it comes to unemployment, but they're revising previous data from earlier in the year, and unemployment has been higher than previously thought. Because of this, the Federal Reserve has signaled they're open to lowering interest rates in the next couple of months. So if that happens, not only will borrowing be cheaper, right? Potentially your mortgage rates could go down, potentially, although the market's already kind of pricing that in when it comes to a mortgage rate. So even if rates go down from the Fed, you're not really going to see mortgage rates go down that much because it's already priced in. But your credit card interest rate could go down. Your personal interest rates, loans could go down. You could potentially refinance a car. They're essentially signaling we could be entering an era where rates are going to slowly start coming down over the next couple of years, especially with Trump appointing his new Fed chair next summer. And we all know he's going to appoint someone who's going to push for lowering rates dramatically. Now, how does that all tie in with the $600 stimulus check? Well, if employment continues to go up, if the Federal Reserve is worried about a recession, and that is why when they use unemployment as kind of like their indicator of saying, okay, we're worried about, potentially a recession, let's start lowering interest rates. You might see all of this happening at once, which could be a good signal for more stimulus checks. Now, some people say, well, these stimulus checks are great because you're going to give that money to the people. Some people say, well, that money from tariffs is supposed to be used to reduce the deficit. And then other people say, even if you give that stimulus check, you're basically just giving people the money to help pay for the increased costs in the goods that the tariffs have caused, if that makes sense, right? And no one really knows the answer, right? A lot of it, like I said, depends on what the product is. Some of it's going to be a percentage of the company paying, some of it's going to be you. But in any case, a stimulus check would help. Obviously, most people would want a stimulus check. Let me know your thoughts on that if you would want a stimulus check. The greatest thing you can do, though, is increase your income. The greatest thing you can do is learn how to come up with a plan to create financial peace for yourself. Now, if you'd like to do that, I'm going to show you how to create financial peace in your life. Stop living paycheck to paycheck. I used to live paycheck to paycheck, right? I know what it's like to live on ramen noodle, literally. And I went from that to being a millionaire when it comes to net worth. Now, if you guys want to learn how to do that, you might not make it to millionaire status. Imagine if you could make an extra $500 a month. Imagine if you could save an extra $500 a month. I want to help you come up with a plan to create financial peace, to give yourself a little bit of breathing room, right? If you guys are interested in that, I'm going to leave an email in the description of this video. Send me an email. We'll come up with a plan for you. We can have a 90-minute call. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions to gather your info. A stimulus check would be great, and I hope it comes, and I'll continue to update you on that. But really, you need to figure out how to get your financial life in order within your own household first. And anything else the government gives you is really just extra. But guys, that's what's happening. Really, we had that stimulus check proposed about 2 months ago at this point. There's not a lot of traction actually in the Senate. I'll keep you updated if they actually have a hearing on it. As of now, I don't think they have anything planned. But Trump did signal that he's open to it in that interview you guys probably saw. So we have Republicans pushing forward at least some. It's controversial, obviously, like we talked about. We have Donald Trump open to it. And then even though this is a year away, we also have the midterms. And we've seen that politicians love to send stimulus checks before a midterm to try and win that election. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, please subscribe if you like this content. I'll keep you posted when it comes to that stimulus check proposal, when it comes to the economy, politics, what's happening with inflation, unemployment, and even Social Security and retirement updates as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And again, if you're interested in that financial peace planning, send me an email. The email is going to be in the description below. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.